All right, Shalom. I want to start by saying, Call halal, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Israel, aka the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. All right, so, one thing in particular, as its title reads, it said, the Lord have created the smith. Now, in lieu of everything that's going on as far as prophecy goes, the ultimate ending to this story is going to be a war of nuclear weapons. Now, you have a lot of these countries, America being one of them, that have nuclear weapons. Now, what's going to happen is they're going to be used. But the question would be is, why did the countries in the first place, why did the nations in the first place create these instruments, these weapons? Why did they create these bombs? There's only one answer, and it's Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Because, years ago, centuries and centuries ago, no one had this technology. But yet at this time, all these nations decided to make the same type of technology, which are nuclear missiles. Because why? The Lord put it in their mind to do that. And the Lord is putting it more in their mind now to get these things going and get these things ready to be used. I just seen the article. There was Russia had a nuclear, I think it's a nuclear sub or whatever, that basically is it hasn't been used since 1997. So he said it's like 3 decades, almost 3 decades, and now they're setting it to be used. Now, why is that? Now prior to that, you had America send nuclear submarines over to that region. And now, and you have a bunch of war talks going on. And that's what Yahawashi said. He said it should be wars and rumors of wars. Shalom, be more. There should be wars and rumors of wars. You had Iran just give America a threat. That was a couple days ago. And mind you, this is after the meeting that Trump and Putin had. But let me get into this article real quick. And I'm going to get a description. Lord willing to be edifying now. Now when you look up, it says, Google, it says, which countries have nuclear weapons? Now, they said there 9 countries are known to possess nuclear weapons. These are the United States, Russia, China, France, United Kingdom, Pakistan, India, Israel, and North Korea. It says, while Amalek does not officially acknowledge possessing nuclear weapons, it is widely believed that to have a stockpile. Now, that's Amalek. But hold up, mind you, if those are the Israelites, if those are the children of Israel, didn't it say? Didn't it say the nation shall learn war no more? But it's not. But 9 countries, 9 nations have nuclear weapons. So here's the 9. It says the United States, Russia, China, France, and it says Russia possesses the largest number of nuclear weapons. So hold on, let's go to this article. Okay, so it says these states have roughly 12,331 nuclear warheads with over 9,600 in active military stockpiles. So 9,600 active military stockpiles. Now, I looked up the how hot one nuclear weapon or nuclear whatever missile is. It said it's 100 million degrees Celsius. And you're going to, I think you change it to Fahrenheit. I believe it said it's 18 million. 100 million degrees Celsius and 18 million degrees Fahrenheit. Now, I did the math because it says America and Russia have the most. America has 5,000 something and Russia has 5,000 something. Matter of fact, I think this article says it. Okay, yeah. So it says Russia has 5,449. America has 5,277. What's this? China has 600. France has 290. What's this? United Kingdom has 225. Pakistan has 180. India has 170. Israel has 90. And North Korea has 50. And it says 6 nations hosting nuclear weapons. It says Turkey has 35, Italy has 20, Belgium has 15, Germany has 15, Netherlands has 15, and it says Belarus is a question mark. Now, mind you, that's a lot of NATO countries. That's a lot of NATO countries. That's a lot of European countries. So that's a lot of Edomites. But Russia and America are in the lead having 5,000 something nuclear warheads. And it says if one nuclear weapon detonated over New York City would cause 583,160 estimated fatalities. So almost that's 500,000. A little more than 500,000, right? So it says these states have roughly 9,600 active military stockpiles. According to the Federation of Atomic Scientists 2025 status of the world's nuclear forces. While this is a significant decline from the approximately 70,000 warheads owned by the nuclear armed states during the Civil War, nuclear arsenals are expected to grow over the coming decade, and today's forces are vastly more capable. So what they have now is way more advanced, basically. And everybody talk, and there's a lot of countries moving nuclear subs, getting nuclear ready. So you have Pakistan that just said that yo, we're a nuclear power, and if we feel we're going down, we'll bring half the world with us. 100 million degrees Celsius, 18 million degrees Fahrenheit. Yo, yeah, the hottest conventional oven is like 450 degrees. There's the thing about, and that's one. And if you do the math, hold up. Let me get the scripture real quick. Hold up. This is Isaiah chapter 54, verse 16. It says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. And that's all them scientists. These nuclear scientists, nuclear physicists, whatever you want to call them. They created all these bombs, all these nuclear warheads. Because they're going to use them. They're going to use them. What did the brother say? Yeah, word. And that's the thing too. It says our God is consuming fire. So somebody's left in 100 million degrees Celsius, 18 million degrees Fahrenheit. That means they're gonna, and the Lord said He's gonna lead His spirit in the bodies. So it means you're gonna feel that. You're gonna feel that damn near eternal heat, man. If you open a regular oven and put your hand in it, it's gonna feel crazy hot. You got these those brick ovens too. Those shits is hot as hell. And that can't even compare to one nuclear missile. They said that's the either the surface or the center of the sun. Verse 17 it says, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM. So all these people that's these scoffers, they talk about, oh, that's not going to happen in our lifetime. Oh, you're bugging for one this. You're crazy for one this. But it said no weapon formed against you shall prosper. So before it even missiles, even all this persecution, all the bullshit that's going to come before the missiles, how they going to come at the men of the Lord, and how they come at the men of the Lord now. And I don't see it too often on the highways and byways of that many scoffers, but it still happens. You said, and not even just scoffers, you have people that just so fucking boneheaded they think they can come here and teach the prophets something, man. I'm going to read this in the NLT though. So this is Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17. In the NLT, it says, but in that coming day, that's the coming day, that coming day of what? Nuclear war, World War III. The Lord said what? The third world coming quickly. So that day, hold up. It says, but in that coming day, no weapon turned against you will succeed. You will silence every voice raised up to accuse you. These benefits are enjoyed by the servants of the Lord. Their vindication will come from me. I, the Lord, have spoken. So when the Lord, what? Gives that power. And I don't just give that power when people come against the men of the Lord, how He protects them. And that day shall be the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. The remnant. The Lord said there's a remnant that He said shall not, He said there's some of you that shall not taste death. That's what the whole point of what? The Lord being what? The Redeemer, the Savior, the Deliverer. the author and finisher of our faith. There's a reward to come with this, man. Why else would the Lord deliver some of the men out of this? We all have sin on us, but the Lord said what? The elect whose sins was purged by what? When Yahawashi went on the tree. And now it's time for Yahawashi to collect the rest of his debt on 2/3 of our people and the rest of these other nations, man. Hold up. Let me get, what's that? Malachi. So this is the book of Malachi, chapter 4, verse 1, and it reads, "For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch." All the elements, everything gonna burn. Everything left in America, including the people, is gonna burn. Thus saith Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi. For our God is a consuming fire. So what's he doing? He's having these nations build all these fire missiles. There's concentrated fire, and then when he come back, he's gonna come back with more fire, more fire. This is gonna be. That's why I said in that coming day, that day is coming, and it's coming quick. Ooh. But it says in verse 2, it says, "But unto you that fear my name," and his name is not Jesus. The Father's name is not God. The Father's name is Yahawah, and the Son's name Yahawashi. Those are the true names. Those are the right names. The names of the righteous, one true living God. And those are names we're going to need to continue to pray to ask for mercy from, man. Because they ain't going to come from nowhere else. It says, "But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall." Verse 3, it says, "Ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet. And the day that I shall do this, saith the Lord of hosts." Well, what? When the Lord gives the elect that power. Those superhuman powers, Marvel, DC, Capcom, Mortal Kombat, all that, and then some, man. The Lord's going to give us the power over all the elements. He's going to give us immortality, invincibility, all the things that Yahawashi has. It says, well, you should be joint heirs with Yahawashi. We shall not know how we shall appear, but we shall be like unto him. So when Yahawashi come back, he's going to change the elect, starting with the 144,000 men. He's going to change them to super immortal, powerful beings, man. They're going to have all the powers of all those shows, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Justice League, all those stories that Esau put together. We're going to have all that and then some. Hold up. Let me see something. Go back to that article real quick. So this is the article about the nukes, right? So it says Russia has the most confirmed nuclear weapons with over 5,500 nuclear warheads. The United States follows behind with 5,044 nuclear weapons hosted in the U.S. and 5 other nations: Turkey, Italy, Belgium, and the Netherlands. Total nuclear warheads owned by these 2 countries alone counts for nearly 90% of nuclear weapons in the world. Total number of warheads for North Korea and Israel is unconfirmed. Man, but you get the gist. So, hold up. Now, let me go some. Shit. Hold up. How hot? Yeah. So you go in the AI overview, says, how hot is a nuclear bomb? It says a nuclear bomb's core reaches a temperature of about 100 million degrees Celsius. Oh, excuse me, I was wrong. It's because it's more Fahrenheit. I said 18 is 180 million degrees Fahrenheit. So it says a nuclear bomb's core reaches a temperature of about 100 million degrees Celsius, 180 million degrees Fahrenheit. At its peak during the initial explosion, which is about 4 to 5 times hotter than the center of the sun, this extreme heat is a result of the rapid release of energy during a nuclear reaction. It said the center of the nuclear warhead reaches this extreme temperature within millions of a second after detonation. Within millions of a second. Hold up. Hold up. Let's go to what our God is. So this is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 29. It says, "For our God is a consuming fire." And in the NLT, it says, "For our God, Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, is a devouring fire." Now, going back to what? What the fuck? It says, comparison to the sun. It says, this temperature is significantly hotter than the core of the sun, which is around 15 million degrees Celsius. What? It says thermal radiation. It says the intense heat is a primary form of energy released in a nuclear explosion. It initially heats the bomb materials in the surrounding air, creating a fireball. So that's the mushroom cloud. Hold up. Let's go to Revelation. What's that, 6? This is the book of, let's talk about the day of the Lord when those things are shot off. So this is the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 16, 14. It says, "And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places." And we go into NLT, it says, "The sky was rolled up like a scroll, and all the mountains and islands were moved from their place." Because it says what? The air and all things around it. So when these nukes are shot, wherever they go, from all the spots they shot from, they're gonna cause all of these mushroom clouds. And in America, the United States, is the daughter of Babylon, is going to be completely annihilated. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, and it's nothing nobody could do about it. This place has met its end. There's no going back to the way it was. Make America great again? Yeah, it's going to be greatly destroyed. And it says in verse 15, it says, "And the kings of the earth and the great men and the rich men and the chief captains and the mighty men and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains." Now after the nukes, you're going to have to deal with Yahawashi, because you got these elites. They're going to go run into their bunkers. They're going to go underground. These rich people, they're going to go underground. And a lot of them are going to survive. They're going to survive those blasts, those nuclear winds. But the people that don't have the bunkers and all, don't have a way to go underground, they're going to be destroyed. So the people left in America, they're going to be destroyed. It says, and then the rocks and mountains, it says, verse 16, it says, "And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb," who's talking about what? Yahawashi. Now mind you, keep in mind, so, and we're going to be rolled up like a scroll from the blast. It says impact. It says this extreme heat can melt metal, shatter stone, and cause severe burns and damage over a wide area, which is going to be what? The mushroom cloud. Think about it. It says impact. This extreme heat can melt metal, shatter stone. I've never seen stone shattered, but when it wasn't like hit. That's going to be from the fire that's going to bring from these bombs. And it says shatter stone and cause severe burns and damage over a wide area. And check this out. It says one of his questions is, how far away do you need to be to survive a nuclear bomb? It says, AI says, to survive a nuclear blast, the most crucial factor is distance. Being at least 20 to 30 miles away from the blast center significantly increases your chance of survival. Though even at that distance, you can still be affected by fallout. The closer you are, the greater the impact of the blast wave, thermal radiation, and initial radiation, making survival less likely. And think about it. America's going to be, it says it's going to be a lake of fire. The day of the Lord says it's going to be fervent heat. Hold up. What is that? I gotta wrap it up soon. Who's that? 2 Peter? No, it's first. No, I'm at 1 John. What? 2 Peter right here. Now hold up. So this is the book of 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 3, and it says, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts, which you clearly have already, and saying, verse 4, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. Verse 5, for this they willingly are ignorant of that by the word of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in water. Out of the water and in the water. It says, whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished. So that's talking about in the time of Noah. But the heavens and the earth which are now, which is the time we're in now, by the same word are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and the perdition of ungodly men. That's the nukes. And then the fire that Yahawashi is going to bring from the heavens with the angels. That's why he said what? The brightness of his coming. Hold up. Here we go. And I'm going to jump down to verse 10. It says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. See what? It's going to come by surprise. And the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Now, what did it say? It said what? It can melt metal. So what's it going to do to other metal? Shattered stone. Shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. So that's what the missiles are going to do. It said all the elements shall be fervent. It should be on fire and dissolve. It says what? And all the works that are therein shall be burned up. And you go into the NLT, it says, but the day of the Lord will come as unexpectedly as a thief. Then the heavens will pass away with a terrible noise, and the very elements themselves will disappear in fire. And the earth and everything on it will be found to deserve judgment. Found to deserve judgment. So everybody left, everything left, because the elements ain't really got life, but like the people that's going to be left, because people have elements too. Our bodies are made up of elements too. Water, oxygen, fire. It's going to be burnt up. And that's what they're all getting ready for right now. Nuclear submarines here, nuclear submarines there. All this what they're doing. Verse 11, it says, this NLT, it says, since everything around us is going to be destroyed like this, what holy and godly lives you should live. It says, this NLT of 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 12, it says, looking forward to the day of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, and hurrying it along. On that day, he will set the heavens on fire, and the elements will melt away with flames. Melt away in flames. So definitely all the elements in America on this soil, some elements of other places like our land, and that got to get purged with the fire. But that's going to be built back up. But America, the land known as America, the United States, the Babylon the Great, the Lord said it should be utterly wasted and never inhabited again. And that's the future. That's the day. That's the fire that's coming to the earth. Since our God is consuming fire, he made these nations build what? All these devices of fire. Because our Lord is a consuming fire. So, with that, Lord, when it's edifying, I'm going to give all praises to YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI BAHASHAM KAKADASH. Double honors to the apostles of Israel, aka the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. Shalom, be more. Hey, yo, we almost out of here. Yo, stay strong. Shalom.